takeaway and experience of visiting the Houston NRA gun convention. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge that in talking about guns, there are people that have been hurt by guns, traumatized, and are angry and are hopeless, and I'm sorry for everything that you're feeling, that you've been through. I truly pray and encourage that you, right here watching this moment, would bring that to God, to your community, in the ways that you feel like you need to. And I would encourage you that you are not alone, and that not all hope is lost here. A lot of that is also based on what I even learned this weekend, where I'm at 31 years of age, not being a gun owner, believing in Jesus Christ, and I feel you. I'm at a lot of times scared just the same. I am angry, I am hurt and devastated, and of course, especially to you, we cannot listen enough to the things that you are feeling and have gone through. I am truly praying and will be doing everything that I can moving forward to encourage gun supporters, people who are not terrified by guns or angry about laws or anything like that, to do a little bit more for listening and for caring for their neighbor, for people who have been hurt, who think a little bit differently than them, a lot differently than them. My experience was not very fun. The convention centers, really for the hunter, the gun owner, gun supporter. I didn't feel unsafe in the gun show, in the whole area, although there was guns everywhere, people carrying them and whatnot. Although it said that guns weren't allowed in to the convention center. They didn't check me for that. There was no, there wasn't a lot of safety or awareness, like, not a single sign that was like, these guns are dangerous and here's do you know what you're getting into kind of idea. You go into a grocery store and the floor is wet, there's going to put a sign out that says slippery when wet, right? It's just, there wasn't. Paid $35, which also made me a member of the NRA. That was my ticket. I picked my magazine that would be mailed to me. I went with First Freedom, and I was in the show. I will say, just an honest, raw takeaway, being around all of those guns, although it felt a little bit overwhelming because I didn't even know certain things like this existed, seeing these big guns, like some on tripods, like it's like guns bigger than me, like different barrels and scopes and everything like that. It was a lot to take in. It was a whole different world that I didn't know. There was booths that made things for safety. Every gun, of course, comes with a safety on it and things like that. But yeah, I did feel empowered in a way. There's probably a better word there, but just gonna kind of keep it honest with you guys. The fact that I could buy all that stuff just like anybody else could. Of course, they ran background checks. I didn't get into the details because I wasn't looking for a gun. And of course, for some context, I grew up in Texas. I've shot guns before. I know plenty of people who own them. carry them. I don't have the same feelings as other people out there, the same assumptions and whatnot, but I know some of them are similar. And so yeah, that just kind of is what it is. I even I've shot guns before. I think it's fun to shoot at a target that is not not endangering any lives, and I am fully aware that they are very dangerous. And yeah, and I just think that the convention and the NRA and gun supporters, based on that experience, based on what is going on in the world, there could always be more room to educate even more, and to have more conversations, to be a little bit more empathetic to what people may be thinking and feeling and what they have experienced. And that's really like this whole takeaway. We are not any one moment in time. We are not, you know, we are just going to have different approaches to problems. We're going to have different preferences. You choose to wear what you wear, to eat what you eat, and other people choose whether that thing is the absolute best thing, the perfect way. I mean, come on, you'll be here. You can be here all day, and if you have to yell your points at somebody, they are likely not going to hear it. I'm not discounting. I've been a part of other protests before. Protesting, I wasn't necessarily a part of this protest. Protesting, speaking up, it's not for nothing. That's not what I'm saying. But you can be there all day if you're not going to take some time to truly listen to the other side, then it really is it's pointless. But I will encourage you that on both sides, you do what you need to do, but encourage you that, hey, I hope you guys can hear me through that chainsaw. I'm just trying to enjoy the weather. We really can get better. We really can, see each other for the people that we are in here, in our heart, our soul. Like, we are not, that crazy argument, that monster that we have inside. We all are capable of being absolutely terrible people. Acknowledge the fact that some people do want that. That is very unfortunate. I would challenge, of course, till the day that I die, to all of those people who want pain and suffering, who choose death. That is not who you are. That is not what you were created to be. If you are hurt, acknowledge that you are hurt. Seek help, of course. If you think that there is no way that people will ever change, you do what you need to do to be at peace with that. If that's owning a piece, if that's owning a gun, if that's not taking part in and supporting guns in any kind of way, any company that supports guns, any people, do what you feel like you need to do. I hope, though, that you wouldn't do it alone, that you would seek to be understood the same way, you would seek to understand the same way you want to be understood, and that you would trust and believe, like, not give up on people just because they think a little bit differently than you, that, hey, they don't also want to live a long, healthy life, and they too want to care about others and their families and themselves, and hey, man, like, we're broken people living life with other broken people. We're not in a perfect world just yet, but we're also not, it's not hopeless. It very well can get worse. We if we don't seek to learn more, to act on the good that we have, and the truth that we know is in our heart, to create and to share, to see our neighbors as ourselves. That's a little more biblical, sure, but it's natural. And so, yeah, I just encourage you to explore that more. I was very, very surprised to leave Saturday, head back home with hope and courage that I can do what I feel like I need and want to do, and live at peace with that. Some people are going to feel like they need to own a gun, that they need to take more charge and control, or whatever. I mean, you have to figure that out for yourself. It's a huge responsibility to be carrying a gun. I don't want it. This isn't so much about me and my personal beliefs, but I've weighed that decision. I don't want it. It's a heavy decision to make. Other people I've talked to, even being gun owners, some of them, they acknowledge that, and that's okay too. It's okay to acknowledge that, like, hey, we're pretty scared living out here. I might have a lot of hurt. I might have a lot of fear. Is my trust completely in myself? Is all of my power in myself? And my gun, you name it, whatever it is, these walls that I've built up, question it. Talk to people, bring people in. We're not supposed to live life on our own. And to the other person, who wants to keep the peace, who has been hurt, who is scared, again, same thing. Connect with others, lean on them, trust them, and do what you feel like you need to do. I'll tell you, that's not going to look so peaceful and calm and pretty, but man, life just isn't that right now. Like, we haven't won it all, right? Like, we don't, heaven is not on earth yet. You may have to take charge in ways that you couldn't really imagine, and I hope, though, that in everything that you feel like you need and want to do, you bring other people into it, and you do it with some hope in your heart, with some humbleness, to say, I don't have this all figured out. I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the power and control. And I also hope that, that bad thing that happened, that bad feeling that you have, that anger and that hurt and everything, that's not forever. But that you would do what you need to do to work through that, to fix that, to let healing happen, because yeah, we're all here. Let's acknowledge that. Please, get your joy back, get your courage back, your hope back. If you lost it, if you never had it, I hope this helps you find it. I pray that the just Holy Spirit that I believe in is working through this video, through these words. I hope that you would even be encouraged to talk more with me, talk with the people around you, get your joy back, because life is beautiful. It may not feel like it right now, but it is. I'll tell you, I'm outside right now I named my daughter after the sun and music, power and beauty that just fills our soul. And it's out here. It's out here that it comes together, where I start to really think about the things that I say that I believe in, the things that I want to believe in, that I then also will start living them out. The most important commandments that, again, my opinions are rooted in, at least I aim for them to be rooted in, is to love God and love people. You love God, that is very hard sometimes. I mean, the world is a scary place. It feels overwhelming to even try and love God sometimes. But you figure it out and you wrestle with him, and you'll find it. I promise you, you'll find it. You have been created. Explore that. It's worth exploring. I promise you, it's exciting, and it's worth exploring to say, like, what does that mean? Who is God? What is love? And the second commandment being to love your neighbor as yourself. Love God, love people. It's very complicated. We are very complicated, but it's also very simple when you put it like that. Of course, that packs a lot of weight. There's a lot of weight there. How do I love people that I cannot stand? Last couple days, what got me through crying, what got me through feeling hopeless and paralyzed, was figuring out what that meant. What weighed on me heavily, what I couldn't shake, was the idea, imagining that I was this shooter's neighbor. And I imagined, before this explosion of anger and hate and chaos and death, that I imagined our conversations, all of the conversations we did or didn't have. I imagined the event not happening at all. I imagined him not being what he ended his life being. I also then accepted the reality and I used it to move forward, to say, I need to see my neighbor. I need to knock on their door, literally, metaphorically, I mean, with my actual neighbor, and with people that are in the world. I need to explore this a little bit more, because if there's even the slightest chance that in me trying to care for them, in trying to see them, that could help, it is worth taking that chance. So I hope that you're encouraged by my experience. I hope that you'll reach out if you need to. I'll make myself available, and whoever would see this, and you can acknowledge what's going on in there, inside of you, in your mind, in your body, spirit, and you would work towards being at peace, living in peace. I pray that over you. Peace be with you. Thanks for watching.